You know that feeling? The one where you think, I have got to get my own life together before I can even think about a relationship? Well, today we're going to dive right into that exact idea, all through the lens of the Nollywood film Here Goes Nothing. It's a story all about that messy, complicated, but ultimately super rewarding journey of, well, finding yourself first. I mean, we all know the feeling, right? January 1st rolls around and bam, the pressure is on. New goals, new promises, this whole new you thing. But what happens when you're just tired of the performance? What if the real goal isn't some brand new you, but just a happy you? And that's exactly where we meet our main character, Amara. She kicks off the year totally burned out on the whole idea of grand resolutions. I mean, forget the vision boards and the promises you know you're gonna break. Her goal is simple, but wow, is it profound. She just wants to find herself and be genuinely happy. So Amara's plan is pretty clear. Ditch all that usual pressure that comes with a new year. But as we're about to see, life has some other, much more complicated plans for her. Yet her resolution is all internal. It's not about, hitting the gym every single day or landing a huge promotion. Nope. It's about cutting through all that external noise to figure out who she actually is at her core. A simple plan for a peaceful year. Or so she thinks. And right when Amara decides to focus inward, her entire world gets flipped upside down. She's suddenly standing at this crazy, unexpected crossroads, and she's forced to deal with challenges she never, ever saw coming. Talk about a rough start to the year, huh? First, she gets laid off, which just throws her into this massive financial and, let's be real, existential crisis. Then, right in the middle of all this chaos, two guys, Daniel and Leo, suddenly start fighting for her attention. Her quiet year of self-discovery, that quickly turns into a loud scramble for survival and just a little bit of sanity. And this quote just captures her mindset perfectly. She's completely overwhelmed, she's scared of falling behind everyone else. But there's this deep, deep core of resilience in her. She knows she has to fight for herself, even if she doesn't really know how just yet. All right, let's talk about these two guys, Daniel and Leo, because they really represent two fundamentally different kinds of support, and their whole dynamic is what drives the main conflict of the movie. Okay, so let's really break down their different approaches, because this is about so much more than just romance. It's about what real help even looks like. So on one side, you've got Daniel. His whole vibe is what you might call performative support. He kind of swoops in like a life coach, literally bringing in whiteboards to reset her entire life. But his big, grand gestures, they feel like they're more about making him feel like the hero than about what she actually needs. It just piles on the pressure. And then you've got Leo. His thing is attentive support. He actually listens. His help is quiet, it's practical, and it lines up perfectly with her own goals. Like, hey, here's a job lead at an NGO you might like. His support, it feels like a genuine partnership.
And you can tell Amara feels this difference big time. She's not being swept up in some fairy tale romance. She's just trying to find a job and, pay her rent. All this constant competition and attention from both guys just adds to her stress and honestly makes her feel even more lost.
And this brings us to the film's big turning point. After being pulled in a million different directions by her job loss and these two men, Amara realizes something. The answer to her problems isn't going to come from choosing one of them. It has to come from inside herself. Her best friend, Ella, gives her this incredible piece of advice that just completely reframes everything. She says, accepting help isn't weakness, it's just letting someone open a door for you. But, and this is the key part, you still have to be the one to walk through it. And that is the epiphany. This whole chaotic experience, it wasn't some kind of cosmic test to see which guy she would end up picking. That was never the point. The real journey was about her learning to prioritize her own needs, to define her own path, and to choose herself, first and foremost. This is the heart of the entire film. So what does choosing herself actually look like in practice? Well, first, she takes a huge step back from all the drama. She clearly communicates her boundaries to both Daniel and Leo. Then she refocuses on what matters, her career, her stability, and most importantly, she learns to accept the right kind of help, the kind that actually empowers her, like that job lead from Leo. So as the year starts to wrap up, we get to see what Amara's real New Year's resolution became. It wasn't about becoming a totally new person, but about becoming a more authentic one. This final thought from her just shows how much she's grown. She gets the sequence now. Self-discovery has to come first. By the end, she isn't against love at all. She's just finally in a place where she's ready for a healthy relationship, on her own terms, because she's built that solid foundation for herself. Ultimately, this film is just a really powerful reminder that the most important relationship we will ever have is the one we have with ourselves. And that kind of leaves us with a question to think about. If finding yourself really is the true first step, what does that journey look like for you?